Wow, they thought you were just another face. But now, you own the spotlight. Asterisk. Do you hear that? The world might have told you that you were insignificant, that you were just another face in a crowd. You were one of many, overlooked, forgotten, and maybe for a time, you believed it. Maybe for a time, you let the weight of that belief smother you. Let it dull the fire that once burned inside you. But I'm here to remind you of something important. You were never just another face. You've been wearing the mask they made for you, the one that hides the person you truly are, the person the world has yet to discover. I know the pain of feeling invisible. I know what it's like to stand in a room full of people, to pour your heart into every word you speak, and yet no one hears you. You watch as others step into the spotlight, their names called, their voices celebrated, while yours fades into the background. You were dismissed by a world that couldn't see your worth. It's like being a shadow in your own life, like your presence doesn't matter, like you don't even belong in the room. It hurts, doesn't it, to feel like you're invisible, to feel like you're just a body passing through, unnoticed, unheard, unimportant. But imagine this. What if everything you've been through, the rejection, the isolation, the pain, was only leading you to this moment? What if all those times you were dismissed, ignored, or crushed beneath the weight of others' doubts were the very things that would shape you into the person you are meant to be? Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. A world where you are the one who stands out, where your voice commands attention, where every step you take is noticed. You walk into a room, and suddenly, everyone stops to look at you. You don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to fight for recognition, because it's already yours. You don't need anyone's approval anymore. They see your strength, your brilliance, your light. You shine so brightly that the world can't ignore you any longer. Now, asterisk. This asterisk is who you are. Not the forgotten face, not the invisible one, but the one who owns the spotlight. And yet it isn't easy, is it? For you to claim that spotlight, you have to face the villains that have been holding you back, the doubts that keep creeping into your mind, whispering that you're not good enough, the insecurities that make you shrink back, afraid to show the world who you truly are, the fear of failure that has you paralyzed, convinced that if you step out, you will fall. And let's not forget the people. The ones who told you that you weren't enough, that your dreams were too big, too foolish, too impossible. They are the ones who made you feel small, insignificant, like you are nothing more than a passing face. They are the ones who tried to dim your light, to bury your dreams under layers of doubt and judgment. And every time they told you that you couldn't, you believed them. But today, you stand at a crossroads. Today, the narrative changes. No more hiding, no more shrinking, no more letting fear control your every step. You are never just another face. You were always meant to be seen, to be heard, to be a force that can't be ignored. The world has been waiting for you, and now it's your time. You know what it's like, don't you? To feel invisible, to be lost in a sea of faces, each one as forgettable as the next. The weight of it presses down on you. A heaviness that you can't shake off, no matter how hard you try. It's like standing in a room full of people and screaming, yet no one hears a word you say. Your voice is drowned by the silence, your presence swallowed up by the noise of the world. You try to stand out, but all you get is pushed further into the shadows. You become a ghost in your own life, seen but never noticed. There's no spotlight for you, no place where you can be truly heard. Every effort you make to rise above the surface is met with indifference or even disdain. You are not given the space to breathe, to exist, to be. And the hardest part, you've been made to feel like that's all you'll ever be. Just another face in the crowd. That's what they've told you. The world has whispered in your ear. You're just like everyone else. You don't matter. And maybe, for a time, you started to believe it. Maybe for a time, you started to see yourself as that face in the crowd, insignificant, lost, without purpose. How many times have you thought, what's the point? You give and give, pour yourself into things, into people, only to be met with silence. How many nights have you lain awake wondering if you'll ever break free from this endless cycle of rejection? Wondering if anyone will ever see you for who you truly are? Wondering if you'll ever make a mark in a world that seems determined to forget you? It's easy to think that maybe this is just your fate, that maybe you were never meant for more than this quiet existence. The world tells you that you're too quiet, too shy, too ordinary. Your dreams feel like distant stars that are too far to reach. Your potential feels like a flame that flickers weakly, ready to die out before it even gets the chance to burn bright. The weight of those doubts, those relentless doubts, settles deep within you. They whisper that you're a failure, that you don't have what it takes. They tell you that others are more talented, more worthy, more deserving of the success you crave. And so, you start to pull back. You start to doubt yourself more and more until the person you once were, the person who dreamed big, who believed in themselves, begins to fade away. The fear of never being enough becomes all-consuming, and you wonder if the darkness of your own doubt will swallow you whole. But let me tell you something. Despite everything, despite all the voices telling you to stay down, despite the pain and the loneliness, there's still something inside you, a spark, however faint, that refuses to go out. It may be small right now, buried beneath the layers of fear and uncertainty, but it's there. It's that voice in your head that says, asterisk, I am meant for more. It's that feeling in your chest that won't let you give up, even when everything around you says it's time to quit. That flicker of hope, that's your potential. It has never left you. It can't be extinguished. No matter how many times you've been knocked down, it's always there, waiting for the moment to break free, waiting for the moment you decide that you won't be invisible anymore. You are not weak for having doubts. You are not weak for feeling lost. Everyone faces these struggles. But here's the truth. What you face in silence, in the quiet moments when no one sees you, is the true measure of your strength. You are fighting a battle every day, and you don't even realize it. Every time you keep going, even when no one is watching, you are showing the world your power. Every time you pick yourself up after being knocked down, you are demonstrating your resilience. Every time you choose to believe in yourself, despite the world telling you not to, you are winning. Your fight is silent, but it's powerful. You are not invisible. You are strong. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. And one day, the world will see that. The ridicule, the rejection, the doubt, it all hurts, doesn't it? But do you know why it hurts so much? Because you're meant for more. The world doesn't recognize your worth yet, but that doesn't make it any less real. You carry within you a power that no one can take away. It's in the quiet moments when you stand alone, when you're rejected by others, that you begin to understand the magnitude of your potential. These struggles are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you are in the process of transformation. The rejection is not the end. It's the beginning. The doubts are not a verdict. They are a challenge, and you will rise to meet it. You are more than just another face. You are a force, and it's only a matter of time before the world understands that. The time has come for you to face your fears. For too long you've been running from them, hiding in the shadows, hoping that they would fade away on their own. But the truth is, fear doesn't disappear. It only grows stronger when you avoid it. You've allowed the villain to control you for too long. The doubts, the insecurity, the voices that told you that you weren't enough, that you couldn't succeed, that you didn't belong in the spotlight. They've held you captive, but no more. It's time to take control. It's time to stand up and confront those fears, not as a victim, but as a warrior. The first step in this battle is realizing that the villain doesn't have power over you. You give it power when you let it live in your head rent-free. Think about it. All those nights you spent lying awake, wrestling with doubts, wondering if you were worthy, wondering if you could ever make it. You were letting those doubts rule your life. You were letting them tell you who you were and what you could or couldn't do. But now you see things differently. Now you understand that the only power these fears have is the power you give them. This is the turning point, the moment when everything changes. You are no longer going to cower before your fears. You are going to rise and face them. In every moment of doubt, in every whisper that tells you to quit, you will push back with defiance. When you feel the weight of insecurity bearing down on you, you will remind yourself that it does not define you. And when the world tells you that you can't, you will show them that you can. You have always had the strength inside you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to recognize it. It's in your resilience, the ability to get back up after every fall, to keep going even when the world tells you to stop. It's in your intelligence, the sharpness of your mind, the depth of your thinking, the creativity that's bursting to come out. It's in your passion, the fire that refuses to be extinguished, the desire to make a difference, to create, to build, to leave a mark. And it's in your ambition, the burning need to rise, to grow, to become something greater than what you are today. This strength has always been a part of you, even when you didn't see it. It's been waiting for you to embrace it, to acknowledge it, and to let it guide you toward your true potential. But here's the thing, you can't tap into that strength until you make the choice to believe in it. You've spent so long doubting yourself, letting other people's opinions and judgments cloud your vision. But now, it's time to see yourself as you truly are, powerful, capable, and deserving of everything you've ever dreamed of. No more hiding, no more shrinking, no more playing small. You are not the person the world told you you were. You are not the mistakes of your past. You are not the failures that tried to define you. You are not the doubts that haunt your mind. You are more than that. You are strong. You are resilient. You are unstoppable. This is the moment of realization. This is when everything you've been through, the pain, the struggle, the rejection, becomes the catalyst for your transformation. You are not the same person you were when you started this journey. You are evolving, and the moment you realize your true power, the moment you see that you are always capable of greatness, is the moment everything changes. Think about the process of rebirth. Think about a butterfly breaking free from its cocoon, fragile and uncertain at first, but slowly, surely, spreading its wing. Think about a phoenix rising from the ashes, its flames burning brighter than ever before, stronger than ever before. Think about a flower that pushes its way through the dirt, its delicate petals unfolding in the light, finally showing the world its beauty. You are no different. You have been in the cocoon, hidden away, but now it's your time to emerge. You are shedding the old version of yourself, the one that was trapped by fear and doubt, and you are rising into something new, something powerful. You are no longer the person who was overlooked. You are no longer the person who doubted their worth. You are the person who now stands tall, unshakable, and unstoppable. You are the person who will own the spotlight. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, you will no longer see the face of someone who has been broken by the world. You will see the face of someone who has been forged by fire, someone who has faced their fears and come out stronger on the other side. You will see the person who has finally stepped into their power, and nothing, no one, can take that away from you. You have fought for this moment. You have earned it. And now, the world will see you for who you truly are. It's time for you to own your power. The truth is, you were never meant to stay hidden in the shadows. You were never meant to be overlooked, dismissed, or made small. From the very beginning, you were always worthy of the spotlight. All the moments of doubt, all the rejection, all the struggles, they were never about your worth. They were about testing your resolve, your courage, and your determination to rise above it all. And now, the moment has arrived. Now, you are ready to claim what is rightfully yours. Reclaim your space. Stand tall and firm, no longer apologizing for your presence. The world may have tried to make you shrink, but you are not here to play small. You were born to shine, to be seen, to be heard. You have something to offer that no one else can. There is a unique spark inside of you, a strength, a vision, a fire that the world has been waiting for, and it is time for you to stand in your truth unapologetically. The space you've been given on this earth is yours to take, and you will no longer let anyone or anything make you feel that you don't deserve it. Now, the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable will become stepping stones on your journey. Fear, rejection, self-doubt. These were the things that held you back before. They were the walls that seemed to imprison you, the chains that kept you grounded. But now, you see them for what they truly are, illusions. These obstacles are not the end of your journey. They are simply the tests that prepare you for something greater. You are not afraid of fear anymore. You've faced it, you've stared it down, and you've survived. Rejection is no longer a barrier. It's simply a reminder that the world doesn't yet understand your power, but it will. And self-doubt? It's just a shadow. It will vanish as you continue to rise. You are no longer the person who is held back by these obstacles. You are the one who stands tall in the face of adversity. You are the one who is unshaken, unwavering, and unbreakable. You have learned that the things that used to hold you back are not your enemies. They are the very things that fuel your power. Fear is now your ally. Rejection is your proof of resilience. Self-doubt is your opportunity for growth. Every obstacle you face is just another chance for you to prove that you are unstoppable. And in this moment, you are no longer an ordinary person. You are a force of nature. You are the giant who walks through storms without flinching. You are the warrior who faces battle with unyielding courage, knowing that no weapon formed against you will prosper. You are the unstoppable river that cuts through mountains, carving your own path with the sheer force of your will. You are the storm that shakes the world, and when it passes, all that remains is the evidence of your strength. The world will know your name. The world will recognize your power. They will see that you are not a person to be ignored, but a force to be reckoned with. The time for hesitation is over. Success is no longer a distant dream, an impossible goal that might or might not happen. It is a guarantee. You have already won. You've fought the battles, faced the doubts, and conquered the fears. You've risen from the ashes, and now you are soaring. Your victory is inevitable. Success is not something you're waiting for. It's already yours. The only thing left for you to do is to claim it, step into it, and watch as everything you've ever dreamed of becomes a reality. Do you hear that? The sound of your victory echoing in the distance. The world is about to feel the weight of your power, and they won't be able to deny you. Success is no longer a question. It is a fact. You are unstoppable, and there is nothing that can stand in your way. The future is yours, and it will bend to your will. You will create the life you deserve, and nothing will be able to stop you. Your success is written in the stars, and the time has come for you to step into your destiny. You are always meant for this. Every trial, every setback, every moment of doubt was just the universe preparing you for this moment. And now that you are here, standing in your power, nothing can take that away from you. The spotlight is yours to own. The stage is set, and it's waiting for you to take your place. This is not the end of your story. This is just the beginning, and you are just getting started. This is your moment, the moment where you step out of the shadows and into the light. For far too long, you've lived in obscurity, feeling invisible, unnoticed, like just another face in the crowd. But that was never your truth. It was only an illusion. The illusion that you had to stay small, that you had to remain hidden. Now, you've broken free. Now you've claimed the spotlight. You are no longer the quiet observer in the back of the room. You are the center of attention, the hero of your own story, the one everyone around you has been waiting for. They can see your light now. They can see you for who you truly are, and they won't be able to look away. Feel that shift in the air, that sense of awe and admiration that surrounds you now. You've gone from the person who no one noticed to the person who can't be ignored. Everywhere you go, heads turn. Every word you speak carries weight. Every move you make is watched. And here's the truth. You were always meant for this. You've always had the power to command attention. You were always meant to shine in a world that tried to make you blend in. But now, your light is impossible to overlook. You are unforgettable. No longer a fleeting face in a crowd. You have become a beacon, something that draws people in, something that inspires, something that leaves an indelible mark on everyone you encounter. Imagine the dramatic shift, almost cinematic, as you rise from the shadows. Picture it in your mind, the dim lights, the unspoken doubts, the whispers of "you're not enough" fading away as you step forward, leaving them all behind. And as the spotlight hits you, you emerge, larger than life, standing tall and proud, ready to take on the world. The world that once turned a blind eye to you is now watching in awe as you claim your rightful place. They can't ignore you anymore. They can't pretend you're just another face. You are the one they all need to see, the one they can no longer overlook. Your transformation is complete. You are no longer the person who doubted themselves. You are the person who walks with confidence, with purpose, with power. But there's one final confrontation to face, one last battle that you must win. This is the moment when you face your old fears head on, the fears that once controlled you, the doubts that once held you back, the people who told you that you couldn't. This is when you confront them all. Stand tall and unshaken, for you are not the person you once were. You are no longer the one who allowed fear to dictate your choices. You are no longer the one who let rejection stop you in your tracks. You are the person who looks fear in the eye and says, "You do not own me anymore." And when you look back at the people who doubted you, those who thought you would never rise above, you will see them in a different light. You've already won. They cannot hold you back. They cannot define you. They can only watch as you rise higher, stronger, and more powerful than they ever imagined. And as for your internal critic, the one that has whispered those lies in your ear, telling you that you're not worthy, that you'll never make it, today, you silence it for good. You no longer need the validation of others or the approval of your inner voice. You are your own validation. You're the creator of your own success. Now, as you stand at the pinnacle, ready to embrace the success you have worked so hard to achieve, it's time for the final declaration. You own the spotlight now. The world has no choice but to acknowledge your greatness. You are the force that cannot be stopped, the person who has risen above it all, who has broken free from the chains of doubt and fear and claimed their place at the top. Your story is not one of struggle anymore. It's a story of triumph, and it's only just beginning. Look at what you've accomplished. Look at who you've become. The world is waiting for you to take your place, to show them exactly what you're made of. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable are now nothing more than stepping stones beneath your feet. Every challenge you faced has led you here, to this moment, and now there is no limit to what you can achieve. You are not just a survivor, you are a conqueror. You are the hero of your own story, and the world will remember your name. There is no room for doubt anymore. Your greatness is undeniable. The spotlight is yours to command, and the world will have no choice but to acknowledge it. You have arrived. You have claimed your place in the light, and nothing will ever dim your shine again. This moment, the one where you finally step into your power, is not the end. It's just the beginning. What you've accomplished so far is incredible, yes, but it is only a glimpse of what's to come. You've broken free from the shadows. You've claimed your spotlight, and you've shown the world who you truly are. But this is not a single victory. This is the start of something far greater. The world that once overlooked you now sees you, and it will never be the same again. You are no longer the person who feared the unknown, who shrank from rejection, or who doubted their worth. That version of you is gone. What stands before the world now is someone unrecognizable to the person you once were, someone unstoppable, someone powerful, someone who will continue to rise. Your journey doesn't stop here. In fact, this is just the beginning of a story that will unfold for years to come. You will keep growing. You will keep evolving. You will continue to rise higher and higher, no longer waiting for validation from the world, but instead showing it how to acknowledge you. With each step, you will inspire others to do the same, to rise above their own limitations, to believe in themselves, to step into their own light. Your journey is not just about your success. It's about the ripple effect you create, the lives you touch, the hearts you inspire. You are a living, breathing testament to what happens when a person refuses to remain invisible, when they decide to rise above the noise and stand tall in their truth. Now think about how far you've come. Just a short time ago, you were like everyone else, lost in the crowd, unheard, unseen. But today, you stand at the pinnacle of your potential. You stand as proof that transformation is not only possible, but inevitable for those who are willing to fight for it. Remember where you started. Remember the pain, the struggle, the doubt, and now see where you are. A force, a leader, an inspiration. You've crossed the threshold from being someone who dreamed about success to being someone who is living it. This journey, though, is never finished. There will be new challenges, new obstacles, new fears to face. But you are not the person who shrinks back in the face of adversity. You're the person who steps up, who stands tall, who embraces every opportunity with confidence and courage. Your path is yours to create, and with every step, you will continue to rise. Take a moment to reflect on the power within you. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are no longer seeking approval. You know your worth, and you are ready to claim every opportunity that comes your way. You've already made the leap, already stepped into the light, and now it's time to make the next move. Don't wait for the world to give you what you deserve. Take action now. Whether it's something small, like sharing your voice with the world, or stepping into a bigger role, something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, take that step. You've already transformed. The version of yourself you dreamed of is already here. Now act as if you already own the spotlight, because you do. And with that action, with that next step, you will continue to build your legacy. The world will look at you and see what's possible when someone dares to rise, when they decide that they will no longer be silenced. This is your new beginning. The future you've dreamed of is already unfolding. Now it's time for you to keep walking, keep rising, and keep owning your power. The legacy you create is yours to shape, and you have just begun.